So today we're going to talk about how to do a coffee enema, one of my favorite practices, as I'm sure many of you guys know. So first of all, you have to get an enema kit, and my favorite one is the Happy Bum, just because it is a glass enema kit. It's a lot easier to clean than a silicone one. So basically what you have here is the kit. It'll come with a separate tube that you have to put on right there. And then it'll also come with a little spout. And this is obviously the part that gets inserted. So no matter what kit you will have, it'll always have some sort of place to hold the liquid, whether it's a bag or a glass bucket. And then it'll also have the tube and the spout. Then secondly, you will need a mold-free organic coffee. So I really love the Happy Bum Enema coffee. This is the dark roast one. I actually only use the light roast one usually, but I just ran out. So this one is going to be a lot more intense than the lighter roast one. So ideally you have a light roast one, and you can start with boiling essentially anywhere between 1 and 3 tablespoons. Now, I've had times where I did 6 tablespoons. Definitely wouldn't advise that unless you're someone who needs that more intense experience. So I usually tell people start with a half to 1 tablespoon, add it to distilled or filtered water, bring it to a boil, turn it down or off entirely, and then let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes and then strain it. So you're also going to see the instructions on the back here if this is going to be the enema coffee that you will buy. So once it's prepared, you obviously have to let it cool, or you can add more water that is just room temperature until it reaches about body temperature. So it will feel warm to the touch, but not hot. If it is hot, it will obviously burn your insides, and we don't want this. So you can prepare this. You'll place it somewhere high, ideally above hip height, because we need the gravity in order for the liquid to come out. So you place it up, either you want to hang it at the door, or maybe you just want to put it on the sink. And then you can place a towel down for yourself to lay on. I typically like to prepare the space, just get a nice music going, maybe some incense. I'll make sure that this is all prepared, the temperature is perfect. And then what you want to do is just grab some coconut oil. Coconut oil is the easiest. If you're in real need, you can always choose olive oil, but I like to do coconut. And to just make sure that this entire spout is coated in a thin, or you can even do a thick layer of coconut oil, just so it inserts a lot easier. Now from there, you will lay on your back with your knees up, and then essentially just insert it really gently in the rectum. You will feel when it's in. You can push it until about right there, so you want to feel that it's in pretty thoroughly. And then you want to unclamp. In this case, this is a little wheel, but sometimes it's an actual clamp. Make sure it's fully shut as well before you pour the coffee in. But you want to unclamp this really gently and just start to let the coffee flow in. You will almost immediately feel if it's too hot or if it feels pretty good. Now, what will happen is that the coffee will start to flow in, and you will notice almost immediately maybe some rumbling sensations in the stomach. And this is completely normal. My advice would be to just breathe through that experience. Now, what I have as a golden tip, and what can be really helpful if you struggle to hold it in for 10 minutes, is you fill one up with water before you do the coffee one. So that means you go one round, you let the water in, you hold it. You don't really need to hold it for more than a minute. You empty out by just going to sit on the toilet and letting all the liquid release. And then because the colon is more empty, it's going to spasm a lot less when you put the coffee in. So the goal here is to keep it anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes and to hold it in, meaning that during that time you will breathe, you will lay, you will meditate, and really allow yourself to just be in a space of calm. And this will really help as well with the release process, because if we're on our phones and we're thinking and we're trying to do a lot of planning, the body does not feel as safe to fully release. Now, what I personally like to do as well when I'm laying down and when the coffee is inside is to just do a gentle belly massage to really help move the coffee into other parts of the intestines, meaning that the coffee obviously is coming in through the rectum, the lower left side, And so you can start to move up the coffee by gently brushing or massaging the abdomen in the other direction. What you can even do is, this is a pro tip, and I wouldn't recommend this to beginners, is you can go on your hands and knees, or on your elbows and knees, and go into a like a donkey position or a downward facing dog almost, and really just massage and let things flow through. So like whether it's upside down, whether it's a downward facing dog, because it really will help the liquid move up into the colon. So this is definitely a more advanced practice, and I wouldn't recommend if it's already hard for you to hold it without these practices. Now, hold it for about 10 minutes and then you just gently release. When you release, you don't want to strain, you just relax the sphincter, you relax the body. I actually try to really go into deep visualization, deep breathing practices. And what you can do is to make a fist and to really gently either massage or vibrate into the stomach. Meaning that, and the stomach can handle quite a bit. If this is my stomach, I can push in and start to vibrate and just shake up some of the congestion that's in there and to really help move things through. So you can that way help in the other direction, in the normal direction, from the bottom right side all the way up to the lower left side. You can start to move things through.